Hi guys, Chuck here, and we are back in Planetbase, and we are attempting to do a major amount of damage control here. Now, so what has happened? Remember last year, if you remember, we were kind of having some power issues in the evenings, and we're still having those power issues. So, I've dismantled a lot of structures, which you might notice. Now, we took down the pyramid, we took down that building there, we took, well, let me check out this trader. Then we'll get, we're going to buy all that metal. That's our priority now, is metal. So, I took out our meteor laser and that item there. I took this radio antenna out, and I went to this lab here and put down a bunch more of those meat makers, the tissue synthesizers. And I've gone down here and we've requested some construction of another solar panel, another collector, which has been built, and another turbine, which is on the verge of being built, hoping that this is going to solve, or at least alleviate, some of our problems. Now, also, this factory here was doing arms and then spares, and it was doing semiconductors. So I took away the robot factory, and I dismantled the semiconductor and put another spares maker in there. So, because part of our problem is, as these items down here get damaged, if we don't have spares to fix them, then we have issues. So as you can see, we've got a couple semiconductors up there, but I don't know why it tells me that we have two and only one is free. So one must be tied up in something that was already in the process, in the works for. Because I don't think, you need semiconductors to make spares. You need metal and bioplastic plus an engineer guy. So all three of these, and if we have a priority on that building, so if we can get the spares going and get them to start keeping stuff repaired, then that should put us in a little better stead. Now, we need one more metal, and we can get that turbine built. We'll be a little better shape on power. Now our next thing, and I want to make sure that turbine gets built before we do anything else, but I have to put another canteen down, because we got 95 people, and we got enough vegetables, enough meat, but not a lot of meals. So people need, I need to get this canteen, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do connections all the way around when I get the metal, because that helps oxygen flow, and we don't want to have issues with people not getting enough oxygen, which is what was happening when I loaded the game back up from our last session. Is I started running out of power and then running out of air, or in that case, somebody died from lack of food, and we have enough food. It's just we're not, apparently the meal makers aren't going, and people, I guess these colonists can't cook for themselves. They need somebody to cook for them. Now, Control Center has an armory, and a telescope console, but we dismantled the telescope. So we probably don't need the console. We can get rid of that. Now what we do need in there is that a security console for the dude to sit at his desk and do his job, and for some reason that disappeared. I don't know why occasionally that happens, but it does. Now they've put a piece of metal there. Does that mean, and get a load of this, so this is ready to be built, the turbine. So now we're just concerned with getting enough spares manufactured to keep things in working order. So let's see if these wind turbine has been built. The canteen has been built. So we can get meal makers in here. And I'm just going to fill the canteen with meal makers. I'm not even going to put more seating in here. Just put 4 if I can fit any more. It doesn't look like it. All right. So that's going to help. It's going to help the food situation, because now they're going to get those things cranking. We're going to get more food being produced. Now we need a trade ship. Bunny doesn't have anything we need, but he's got ore. Now let's see if we can just buy all that ore. Well, we bought a lot of ore. Might have to part with some of the cash. In fact, we're going to part with some cash here. And the reason I'm buying ore is so we can get more metal. All right. More metal will obviously produce more spares, which will get things repaired. We can get this thing repaired. It is not doing anything at all. Now I can't really dismantle it because it's connected to other base parts. Because sometimes you can just recycle, but it's not even giving us that option because we wouldn't be connected. So what we need is these guys to start making spares, because we've got power storage issues, and that's a lot to do with not getting this thing repaired. So I'm looking around and I don't see. All right, we're okay on water, but it's tight. Now our power grid's doing okay as long as the sun is shining and the wind is blowing. We got our power collectors, 3 of them are full, and the other one is gaining. So that should, you know, see us through okay through the next evening, the next night cycle. So really hoping we've got ourselves in a little better standing. And I'm hoping that's a trade no, that's a trade ship just left. So we got all this stuff that we bought from him. Now we're going to see if that pays any immediate dividends or not. I'm expecting, and we got this storage is empty here, but I'm expecting these metal processors to start having some ore to work with. And we're going to see a lot of metal pieces kicking out pretty soon. And with that, we should see some spares get built somewhat soon. Okay, there, that's in our inventory. Now I want to see, I don't need to see semiconductors, but I definitely want to I want to see metal producing and spares getting produced. So these guys are producing metal, and we have another, kind of gets hard to track all your buildings when you start getting bigger. So we got metal and bioplastics going on here. We got metal and bioplastic going on here, and metal and bioplastic here. And it sounds like a trade ship has come in, and we're going to take all 6 of his metal, and I think I'll just trade money for it. We'll have to build our money back up. And like I said, right now it's a lot of damage control. Now, we need to see this thing get repaired at some point. And these other ones get repaired before they get any worse. And here's one that's starting to... Alright, we're making more spares. So hopefully the next spare goes toward that rather dicey looking panel down here. So let's check the grid again. We're barely keeping ahead on water. And power is also a little sketchy. But you know, we're making spares now. So it's my hope that we see that in fact both of these spares machines are working. We need to build a couple more mines, which I think will help bring in. Now we got 2 solar panels out of commission. And are these guys repairing stuff? Yes, they're repairing things. All right. And hopefully this guy is... Now let's see what he does, because this thing is not completely broken yet. So hopefully he brings that spare down to one of the ones that's completely out to fix it. But no, he's going to fix one that's still operational first. When we have 2 panels down here that aren't even functioning. And you would think you should be able to set a priority on the repair, but you can't do that. But we did get a few things fixed. And I don't know if we're still producing more spares. But our metal just went, well, it just went back down. I need... Alright, that guy just... Alright, they're still producing spares and taking spares. Now, is this guy going to fix one of the ones that's broken down? Yes, that one's getting repaired, and that one has been repaired as well. So now all of our power generation machines are functional. We have some metal left, so we're going to put down a couple mines. We'll put one there. And we'll put another mine here. And we'll check the trader. He's got 11 metal. I don't know if I got the money for all that, but I'm tempted to see. got 157 money. A metal is going for 24. That's going to be a pretty high commission. That'd be 272. That would take all of our money plus a lot of our other goods. So I don't think I can take all of those. I'll take like 6 of them. And we'll just use... We'll wipe out our cash. So there we go. We got more power stuff built. We took in 6 more metal. We got 2 mines that are being built, which are going to take 2 metal each to build. Now, that's going to get us, hopefully, enough ore coming in that we have a steady production of metal. And then we can eventually think about building back some of those items which I tore down. Which in all honesty, probably I got ahead of myself a little bit. You know, in building those earlier. Because those are pretty much end game things. You know, the pyramid and the little signpost and all that stuff. So for now, I think we need maybe another water collector. And yeah, our water storage tanks are full, so we're probably going to need another water tank as well. And we'll go ahead and connect that there. Just checking our power grid. We got our collectors are all full, and this sandstorm's doing us a favor. Getting the turbines really cranking, and we're going to have full power collectors by the time the sun goes down. Now let's check the grid again. So we are producing a little more power than we're burning, but not crazy amounts more. So that's and the water is just barely ahead. Oxygen, you know, we seem to be doing okay, but we are shooting to grow this colony to 300 people. So we're going to need to have a lot more, eventually, creature comforts to make the people happier. Because I took away their bar earlier. So we'll need some more of these exercise rooms. But we're going to need more food growing eventually. Now we are building up surpluses of food. And we got the mines built. So I'm expecting to see more ore. And meal maker's pretty good. We're up to 26 meals made. Got a lot of vegetables, a lot of meat. We got the other water extractor built. Only pending 1 metal in that water tank. So we took this colony from on the verge of starvation, basically, going to hell in a handbasket. We brought it back from the brink. And you know, things, if we can go by the food stocks things appear to be looking up. Now we go here to stats, we're seeing very poor. So we're not going to get any new people for a while until, you know, we can get, you know, things built back up to a sensible level. So I'm going to try for this money. And I can't afford that. I'm thinking that, well, we're up to a bunch of starch. How much of starch sells for 5? 5 on the vegetables, 5 on the meat. The medicinal plants. And so oh, we okay. That's so we got the trader. We can't quite give him that much stuff. I would need to do more medicinal plants. No, I need... There we go. He can't exceed that limit up there. We got us a little more money because we're going to need to start getting some of those patents for the bigger items. Now it says we're out of spares again. But at least everything appears to be in somewhat good working order. Now we look at, you know, what else we can build. I got rid of the bot facility earlier. I probably want to build that back because we're going to want robots. We need one more metal for that other water tank. Then we're going to put another O2 generator down. I've already got 2 here. But if we look at the grid, we oxygen for 164 people, and we've got 94. So that's a little room to spare, but if we have power issues again, then that oxygen could start not looking so good, start dropping off. So we need to, once again, look at, you know, our stats. Now, what we can do to raise that. We can obviously, we got the food in good shape for now, but we can build more. We just don't have the metal to build more. But I'm expecting that to change with the extra mine. But I think a lot of it's going in the spares. So there we are. We things were looking a little dicey for a second, and we were able to recover. We got enough power, we got enough food, and we've got some extra mines. So I think we're on the verge of being able to add quite a few buildings here pretty soon. So that's where we are for now, and that's where we're going to call it a day at the moment, knowing that at least we have things stabilized, and the next time out we're really going to grow. We're going to start moving this thing where it needs to go. So if you've enjoyed this video at all and would like to subscribe or like the video or share it with your friends, that would be much appreciated, and I will catch you the next time.